Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Surprise! We just put out a free album!
Come on. Wow, it's exciting. Let's do this. So we have a free album out. You can grab it tonight. You can go to our website, breadandwineonline.com, and you can download it for free.
Or you can go to iTunes,
Yeah.
which it's $9.99, but that helps us. So we just want you to enjoy the music. So we're doing a little live stream podcast situation here.
Yeah.
And it's our first podcast that we've done video with. So this is exciting.
We do have Mr. Drew Kaiser in the house. You can't see him, but he is here, and he's a gift. And if you saw our setup, you would not believe it. There are iPhones everywhere. So, yeah, let's just go in to talk about the album and how we made it and where it came from, all of that goodness.
Yeah. So the title of the album is Every Table is an Altar. And I'm going to let Ben share why we've called it that.
Well, I thought about calling it something else, but I've had enough people in my life say, listen to your wife, listen to your wife, listen to your wife, truly.
Which is good advice for all husbands.
So Kelly was like, I really feel like we should call it Every Table is an Altar. So we did, for all of you. So,
But where did it come from?
yeah, so I was at a gathering conference in California about 2 years ago, and this guy was sharing his heart. He was just saying, before I sit down with my family, I just pray that this table becomes like a living altar where I'm sitting with my kids and I'm listening to them. I'm awake to this conversation that's happening. I'm awake to God. And I remember listening to that, and it just struck me. And I was like, I need to write something on that. Every table is an altar. So it's probably like a year later, that thing was just brewing in me. And it's been the journey that I've been on, you've been on, a lot of us have been on, where we used to kind of only in our minds experience God in like the big thousands of people worshiping, the gatherings, the Sunday mornings. And I think it started when we started having kids. I just felt this invitation from God, like, can you see me in your child right now? Can you see me in our first son, Brighton? Can you see me in him as he's growing, as he's learning, as he's trying, as he's curious, as he's asking questions eventually? And yeah, I feel like learning to be awake to God in the everyday, in the ordinary, and not just in the big and the huge gatherings of everyone singing together. And I really say, like, it's totally a both and. It's not either or. I've just been on a journey of learning to find God in the everyday, and that phrase, every table is an altar, I don't know, it does something to me, because now when I sit down anywhere, it's a moment where we can encounter God, and it can be literally anywhere you are. You're just running into a stranger, or running into someone at a coffee shop, or you're sitting down just having a meal with your family, and are you awake to God there just as much as you're awake to Him when everyone's singing Holy, 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 in a massive stadium. Mm-hmm. So that's been the journey that God's been leading me on, and many of my friends on. And yeah, that's kind of the heart, I guess, of this album, and it embodies the journey that we've been on for a little while. So what is I don't know, what does that phrase mean to you? And
well, if you notice the album cover, there are two seats with a small table in between them. And for me, the idea of a table being an altar means stripping away everything that we have to build and produce to make us experience God. And I know that there's importance and there's value in going to church and being part of a community and experiencing God at a corporate level. We are not by any means saying that that's not important, because we've certainly had several experiences with the Holy Spirit in those times. But for me, really, when I meditate on the idea that every table is an altar, I think I see that picture, and I think when I'm sitting with a friend or a stranger, and two seats happen to be close in proximity, that's a place at which I can be aware of the spirit in the other person, and I can be awake to the God in the other person, and I can engage God through the other person. So I in my mind, I'm stripping everything back, and I just want the simplicity of what it feels like and what it could be just to experience God just in a very brief, or rather not brief, but maybe like a very just simple moment in a simple conversation. Doesn't have to go anywhere, but if it does go anywhere, so many possibilities can be happening in that conversation. So that's why I like it.
I love that picture because we were playing at some camp. I think it's past summer, and
Your band was.
yeah, and
Yeah.
we were just sitting there.
I was being a mom with all the three chitlins.
It's awesome. Yeah, that picture's
But I was
beautiful.
sitting. There's a sofa opposite of that picture, and I was sitting on the sofa, and I was looking at those two chairs actually, and I was seeing out the window. There's a beautiful garden out the window, and God was just speaking to me about the garden, and I wanted to document the moment, and I did, and honestly, it was only for personal use. I had no idea that I'd be using it for this, but
I'm like,
I'm glad I took
we
it.
need some artwork for this album. Babe, go through some old
Yeah.
pictures.
Well, when we came to the idea, okay, we're going to call this Every
Yeah.
Table's an Altar, that picture came back into my memory, and I felt like this is a beautiful idea, because usually when we think of table, we think of, okay, we're having dinner together, we're going to
Yeah.
break bread, da-da-da. But, hey, the table could be that little armrest in your car when you're driving and someone else is in the passenger seat.
wow.
The table can be the barista bar at the coffee shop.
Oh.
Like, it can be whatever. You know, a
Come on.
piece of solid material that is between you and another person. It could be hypothetical, who knows? But it's every opportunity, being aware and being awake to the God that is all around us, that we just have to dig a little deeper through being aware that He is there.
And the pre-chorus of the song says, "Let our hearts be awake, be awake." And I just love that phrase. And it really is like a simple prayer that I'm praying that I would be awake to God. I don't have to do some special dance for God to show up. I don't have to do some special hype song for God to show up. But it's just a simple prayer of, God, let me be awake to you right now, right here. And it's changing my life. It really is. It's changing my spirituality. Is changing who I am. There's a song in there that you wrote called "God Is Love," and it's really special. It feels out of the box, and I know
Not your
that,
typical worship song.
and I don't know. I guess I'm just personally refreshed by it. I feel like a lot of times I write so in the box. Though there's a song, "Break Open This Box." So
Come on, there's the irony.
it's a prayer. God, break me out of my box. But yeah, just share about God is love and how you wrote that song. I love it. It's special.
Well, the past year or two, I don't know what to call it, but something's been happening and changing and evolving in my spirituality. And, you know, sometimes, I know you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes there's this time when you're going, I have no grid of who you are, God. Like, literally no grid. I mean, yesterday I thought you were, I rather boxed you in to be this thing, and today you're showing me that you are something completely different, and you are magnanimous. You are so much bigger than I can comprehend. So why am I trying to wrap my head around all that you are? Because it's not going to happen. Why are you trying to define God? Because I don't know if you can. And all of that began to, break down, and the first line of the song, the first verse is, our grid is just an image of ourselves. And what I mean when I say that is, the lens that we look through, the life that we perceive we are living, it's only one view. It's only one perspective. And we only see the world through the way that we experience it. So why don't we take time to look through someone else's eyes, whether that be for many people who, have a heart for missions, whether it be for the people of the poor and the hungry. Like, let's see the world through their eyes and help them. Let's see the world through the husband who has to work 4 jobs just to support his family, or the person who has addictions that they just cannot get a hold of. Like, let's take a moment out of our own selves and have compassion and see what life looks like through somebody else's, and not just a fleeting moment, but like a rich moment. And how can we see God there? But the chorus is, God is love, God is light. I don't understand it all, but I believe it. I just might know who I am when I'm in your presence. And that, to me, I think speaks for itself. I don't have any idea how to define you, God. But I know that you're love. I know that you are light. And I know that I know me better when I'm with you. So
I remember one author just describing any word or language for God is just a metaphor, because he's outside of even language. I mean, he's beyond.
Indescribable.
He's indescribable. And poetry...
Which indescribable is an adjective.
Yeah.
So we're trying to describe him by saying he's indescribable.
In like scripture, poetry, language, songs, all of this is like to point you to God and his presence, but only you can open yourself to allow yourself to experience God. And it's all, we're just trying to get language around to point you to God and his presence, and hoping that a song, a poem, a line, a thought, a video, whatever, just like encourages you to go there and wake up that God is with you. His heart is for you. He is love. He is light. I don't understand it all. Like, tell me about that bridge, looking in the mirror. Like, what'd you mean there?
Oh gosh. I have a few different interpretations of that moment. The bridge says, looking in the mirror now, starting to see clearer now, looking in the mirror now, am I all who I want to be? And, the song talks about perspective, right? So when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, first, foremost, do I love me? Second, do I see you, God, when I look at me? What do I see? What parts of you do I see in me? And the more that I speak that, the more that I speak what God sees in me, as the Holy Spirit is speaking to me, those things, everything else kind of melts away. Like all the insecurities, the fears, you can't do these and you can't do that, and it all just kind of fades away. And it's almost like the bridge kind of, for me, it begins like this moment where you're just grabbing the mirror, going, looking in the mirror now, am I all who I want to be? And then as it continues, it's like, am I everything that I want to be? Like I have to get to a place where I'm deciding I'm going to go on a journey, and I'm going to find me if I don't know who I am right now. And the parts of me that I do know for sure that define me, I'm going to embrace the heck out of those. And I'm going to go on an adventure to figure out how I can engage those parts of me and live,
Well
so
done,
deep.
babe.
So deep. Sorry, guys. Let's go
One
there.
day I want to be as deep as you, babe.
Oh,
It's
stop.
so good.
He calls me a kaleidoscope, guys. Says I'm a kaleidoscope.
Isn't that a good thing?
Sure. It's always changing.
Like God.
Like God. Oh, there he did. Like God.
Yeah. I don't know, anything else from the album you want to talk about, or what else is going on?
Well, do you want to talk about how we recorded it?
Yeah, that's a great idea. So we have been hosting these free gatherings out of this place called Serenbe, which is a little, they call it an urban village south of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's just a space that we fell in love with because we lived there for a year and a half, and it was just a time of great healing and connection for us. And so we just keep going back there. Some days I ask myself, why am I going back to this place, middle of nowhere? It's an outdoor pavilion. You never know what the weather's going to be like.
Sometimes like a hog will just come through, or a goat actually came and interrupted one of the gatherings.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but we just keep going back there, and we feel like it's a space where we're just being invited to set a table for whomever wants to come.
That place, it carries a stillness, and we are in that season right now where we are drawn to the stillness, and we are just at a place where we want to hear and listen and build awareness of our surroundings and our inner selves.
So we just host gatherings out there every few months, and it varies totally. Half the time it varies. I email them and they're like, we're already booked. So we've been hosting gatherings out there, and so we just recorded a few of the gatherings and recorded some of the songs. Some of the songs we've actually already put out, but we invited our friend Blaine down, who plays violin, who's just incredible.
Blaine, if you're watching.
Just amazing. So we've had just amazing, just different guys play. So many different guys who've been dear friends with us. Yeah. From Drew.
Should we do shout outs right now?
Come on, let's do some shout outs to Drew
Kaiser,
to John Pitzer, to Daniel Turner, to Estevan, to Cody, to Zach came down. We've had
Shua. I mean, name them all, because John Ellie.
John Ellie, come on. I don't know who else. We've had a lot of people help out, and Drew always brings like a whole team of people to just capture.
His crew.
But just so many different people who just come out, and they have a desire for the more. They want to explore, and I think that's what we want. We want to create a space where we're not trying to start the next thing or start another church or whatever. We're so grateful actually for so many churches, so many ministries. We just needed a space to keep exploring, and we want to keep bringing in people that are inspiring us, that are causing us to explore, to ask more questions, to push the boundaries, to like just get us outside of our box, you know? So we're going to keep doing them. We have one this Saturday. Our friend Cody.
That's in 2 days, guys.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a little cold, okay?
What else is new?
It's gonna
Drew
be a little
hates
cold.
these things.
I hate cold weather. If I'm going to be there, you should be there, or let not the weather deter you, because you should be wearing a jacket, a scarf, maybe some gloves, maybe one of those fun, stylish, trendy wool hats, maybe a loved one where you can just snuggle up real close. There's going to be heaters there, but it will be cold.
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to share some of these new songs. Our friend Cody's coming down.
Cody Dees.
And he's just...
and his wife Katie is going to be there too.
Yeah, and they've been just great friends that we've just kind of been spending more time with.
Yeah.
And
they lead a church up in Mableton called Vinings Lake Church, and it's so incredible. We love going there. It's awesome.
So we've been playing up there once a month or so, and I met Cody. We're really connected with Cody at a conference in California about 2 years ago. And it's so cool, the journey that he's been on, and a lot of the things. He'll text me, dude, read this, check this video out. And, I think right now we're at a place where we're not afraid to read anything.
We're stuffing down so much information, guys, out there information, intriguing information.
And I remember Randall Worley came to one of our gatherings in the fall, him and Jason up there. And Randall's biggest encouragement to anyone. He says, if whatever's happening that causes you to love God more, yourself, or your neighbor, keep going. Like, it's of God. It's of His Spirit. And just keep going. And the stuff that we're taking in, it's not just information for information. We're hoping that it's information that actually does lead to real like heart transformation. And I'm more convinced than ever that Jesus is like, he really is the way to seeing, to living, to existing, to caring for others. And I'm actually more compelled than ever by the person that he is. And he doesn't fit just with a few words. You can't describe him with just a few scriptures. It's so much more experiential. He is so much more experiential than that. And Cody's been on that journey, so I'm excited for him to be down. So so this album is just a collection of those songs, and we felt we could just hold on to them, and we felt, man, why don't we let's give them away, and let's let people experience communion with God through these songs, and we hope they do. 2 songs also unique that I'm excited about.
I want to say first, if you have any questions that you want to type in and send to us, we'd love to answer a couple before we close this thing down.
Yes. One song that's special is Break Open This Box. And, I feel like that's what's happening to me. It's what's happening to us. It's happening to friends. God is truly breaking open the boxes that we've had around him, and that he actually is better than we imagine. He's better than we think. And the phrase, when I was writing that song, I kept hearing, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. And so I put that chorus in there. You say, don't be afraid. And I think that applies, that phrase applies to so many different things, whether it's situations that you're dealing with in your life, in your family, your health, finances, or if it's even your perspective on God, your perspective on who he could be, who he might be that you never thought he could. I feel like God is just wooing his people to the more, to explore more. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I'm better than you think and you imagine. And I hope people wake up to that in that song. The other tune that I'm excited about is Home to Me. And that one is heavily influenced by Jason Upton, who's been just a gift to us, who's been a dear friend, mentor to us. But I remember I sent him that chorus, you are home, home to me. And he just like ran with it. He was like, Ben, I love this. And he went for it and wrote a bunch of verses that I could never write. You could write things like that.
No.
And
Jason Upton could write verses like that.
And I was like, man, I would never imagine saying you're like a house out in the country, like a boat out on the sea, like a river.
So beautiful.
Like a river
poetic.
Going somewhere we all want to be. And I remember we were up at his property and we were walking on that little bridge.
Oh, the bridge, yeah.
And he's like, in his little Jason Upton way, he's like, so guys, which way do you...
So, tell me something.
He's like, which way do you like to look at the river? Do you like to look at it when it's coming downstream? Or do you like to stare at it as it's going down?
Upstream,
yeah. And I was like, my God, I have never thought that, never asked that question.
Now, I, on the other hand, they didn't know this. I had gone on a run across that bridge earlier, and I literally sat on that bridge for 15, 20 minutes, just arms out on the rails, just looking downstream. So I'm like, oh, downstream, duh.
Oh my, I can't.
Duh.
I love that you.
It's okay. I'm just weird.
No, it's awesome. So Jason just went for it, and he had actually, that was part of even the inspiration for part of the song. But God is how do you describe him? He's like this, like this, like this. And I think I found him to be a home. He's home. And I don't know, you can just tell that word describes who he is to me, where it doesn't matter where you are, what place you are, where you're traveling, if you're staying in a random hotel, some random city, God is home. And you don't need just these elements to make your home. Like, God becomes your home.
And it makes you think about the word home. What does that word even mean to us? Like, could we reshape what the word home means. You know, could the song inspire people to reshape and redefine what that term means? Because home, the physical place, can be a scary place, a scary environment for a lot of people, and or it could be a place of safety. But yeah, just asking the question. I encourage you to ask the question: what is home to me?
Yeah.
And if I invite Jesus into that space, into my soul, and my spirit, and let that resonate, what does that mean?
Well said. We got any questions, Drew?
A lot of likes and comments.
Just random comments. Uh-oh.
Give me that thing.
Come on, Drew. Okay. All right.
Okay, we're going to shout out to some people who tuned in to us. Hi, friends. We got the Kibblers, Bronson and Carrie. Hector, dude, how's Florida?
Scott Parker. He's our boy from Alabama.
Yep. Courtney. Veronica Romano. Rachel. John Moore. The Deeses! Holla. And that's it. All right, well, it's been a party with you guys. That's all we need. And I just have water. Come on.
Judy Milligan.
Oh, Judy! Hey, strife prayer.
Come on.
Never forget.
Well, thank you guys for being part of our first live podcast. That's a great way to end it. Anything else you wanna share?
We just are so excited about the future. This has been, we've done live album after live album after live album, and I'm kind of tired of the live album situation. So we're gonna actually, we've been writing some really great new songs that we are, y'all, I'm like really excited about these new songs, and we're gonna do a studio album next, I think. That's the plan, if I get my claws in it deep enough. So we're gonna work on a studio album. We are gonna try to do more gatherings. We're going to be consistent with the podcasts, so you can tune into those to stay connected with us. Obviously, Facebook, Instagram. Janelle, I love you. She's like one of my best friends. And
just invite you out Saturday night if you're free. Come on out. We'll be at Serenby. You can see all the information on our page. And if the album's an encouragement to you, just pass it on to a friend, share it. But more than anything, I mean, this is for you to experience God more. That's our hope. Mm-hmm. So
you want to talk about chord charts or anything real fast?
Yeah, I mean, you can see everything on our website. We have Drew made epic videos for everything, and we have.
Let's just give Drew a round of applause.
Come on, Drew.
I hear you clapping.
This guy. That's epic. We have chord charts on there. If you want us to come join you for a gathering or an event or whatever.
Invite us over for dinner.
Come on.
And we can chat between a table, between a solid piece of something.
Granite. What else you have, Drew? Anything else?
Terry Oliver.
All right.
We miss you. Hope you're doing good.
So, thank you guys. Hope to see you Saturday. And we love you so much. And
dress warm.
Yeah.
Please come. We love you. And Jonathan Lee, dude, you're like slaying it out in Reading right now. Good job.
Reading.
We're so proud of you.
All right, well, we'll talk to you guys soon.
Mothership. All right, we love you guys. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.